Shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, elder bishops of Great Millstone. Double honors to the high priest elders that were before them. Peace and salutations to you sincere brothers out there pushing this word without sincerity and in truth. It's a brother Tazamak from the Great Millstone Austin branch. And Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. I want to go into the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5 and verse 1. Okay, because, this is a very deep precept in the beginning of the 5th chapter. Okay, this Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5 and verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. Okay, and this is talking about the men, okay, that have come back to the true heritage as being an Israelite, coming back to your true power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, as an Israelite, standing in great boldness. And how do we know this is speaking about the Israelites, which the nation of Israel consists of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans? Okay. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him. Okay, now let's prove that this is talking about the Israelites. Deuteronomy 4 and 8. Okay, when you go to the book of Deuteronomy, even in the beginning of chapter 4, it tells you, because you got to read this to get understanding of the Bible. First and foremost, the Spirit has to be dealing with you, the Holy Spirit. But you have to read precept upon precept, line upon line to understand these scriptures. Okay, this is Deuteronomy chapter 4. Straight to the point, verse 1, it says, Now therefore hearken, O Israel. Salakia. Now therefore hearken, O Israel, unto the statutes and unto the judgments which I teach you, for to do them, that ye may live and go in and possess the land which the Lord Yahweh power of your fathers giveth you. Okay, so Deuteronomy 4, or the whole book of Deuteronomy, okay, it's talking to the nation of Israel. Now therefore hearken, O Israel. Okay, so going back to Deuteronomy chapter 4 and 8, we understand this is talking, Moses was speaking to the Israelites. It says, verse 8, And what nation is there so great that hath statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law, which I set before you this day? So what made us righteous was the law, statutes, and commandments that were given to us. Order and laws were given unto us, okay, to be a great nation, a great people, as Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6 states, a peculiar people. All right, going back to Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 and verse 1, now we understand that the righteous man are speaking about the Israelites. They say, stand in great boldness. And when you go into this word boldness, I believe the word boldness goes back to bravery and in spirit. If I'm not mistaken, similar and opposite words. Come on. Salakia. Okay. Additional synonyms for boldness: courage, spirit, daring. I know there's another one in here. Give me a sec. Okay, I found it. You see, it says spirit empowered. It says boldness is a spiritual fruit often granted by the Holy Spirit in response to prayer, given strength to share the Most High's word. So boldness, Okay. In other words, stands for courageous, bravery, and spirit. And when it says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness, okay, it's standing in great spirit. And Revelation 19 and 10 tells you the spirit that we are in. Okay, Revelation 19 and 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see thou do it not, I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren. This is Revelation, John the Revelator, okay, worshiping the angel that revealed, to him the prophecy, the vision and the prophecy. Okay. It says, I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. Okay, so these men, the righteous men that are standing in great boldness, is because they're standing in the spirit of prophecy, man. Prophesying in the highway and hedges as we are commanded in Luke chapter 14 and verse 23. It says, before the face of such as have afflicted him. Okay, and you know what? Let's go to Obadiah 1 and 15 real quick. Because the ones that have afflicted the Israelites, okay, these men standing back in these righteous men standing in great boldness, okay, as what do we read? Before the face of such as have afflicted him. Well, there was give me a sec. Was it my, okay, the affliction came from the heathen. Okay, Obadiah 1 and 15, for the day of the Lord Yahweh is near upon all the heathen. And the heathen are who? The heathen are the nations that, for example, Moab, another example, Edom, okay, Ishmael. Those are all heathen nations that aren't Israelites. They are considered heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. So, point being, the heathen afflicted the nation of Israel. Okay. It says, and made no account of his labors. Well, when you go to Micah 2 and 10, we weren't supposed to be admired. We weren't supposed to be accounted for since the beginning. Okay, actually, let's go to Baruch. Okay, Baruch 3 and 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity. You see, so there's another big reason why they made no account for the labors of the Israelites. We are in captivity. It says, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, our power. Okay, so we weren't. Give me a sec. Going back to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5 and verse 1. They weren't supposed to make account of our labors, man. Okay, and I was reading something real quick. The White House, let's go into that. It was recorded that more than 300 enslaved Africans helped build and staff, the so-called White House today. It was from enslaved labor. Okay, skilled slaves were building this White House that belongs to Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed white man today. All right, let's go back to okay, and made no account of his labor. So okay, yeah, they made no account of our labors because we are in captivity. All right. So now you see that the righteous men are standing in great boldness, in great spirit, the spirit of prophecy. All right, the prophets are these righteous men standing in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him. Okay, especially the Edomites, the self-proclaimed white people today, had made no account of his labors, and now they are making account of our labors, because our labors are bringing the Israelites back, okay, to their true heritage as of who they are, to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, the living power, man. Okay, now they're taking notes that the Israelites have there's more righteous men standing now in great boldness. Isaiah 58:1. Okay, cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression and the house of Jacob their sins. They see the men crying aloud, sparing not, lifting up their voice like a trumpet in the highways and hedges, bringing back the remnant to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Okay, they are turning the hopeful elect back to the true heritage, laws, statutes, and commandments, to abide in righteousness, okay? Not in their sins no more. I'm going to end it with 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 58. Joe's going into that this labor that now we're doing, okay, is not in vain. We read Isaiah 58:1. Luke 14:23, okay? It says, 1 Corinthians 15:58, therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. So this labor, okay, standing up in great boldness, prophesying, okay, is not in vain. The rest of the labor that made that the ones that afflicted us, especially Esau, Edom, well, the labors that we did, okay, were in vain. Okay, another reason why they made no account of his labors. Everything that the Israelites have done since we have been in captivity in this Babylon the Great, which is America, has been in vain. All right, but now we're doing a labor, the true labor that is not in vain. Okay, so I just wanted to go into Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 and verse 1. Okay, going into the Israelites, the prophets, being the righteous men, standing in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, the heathens and Esau, Edom. Okay, and now our labor is not in vain, doing the work of the Lord. So, like I said, Lord willing, this is edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elder bishops of Great Millstone. Double honors to the high priest elders that were before them. Peace and salutations to sincere brothers out there pushing this word with all sincerity and in truth. Until the next one, Shalom.